Welcome back everyone, Mariah here. In today's video, I am going to be giving you a bit of an update when it comes to Celsius and that claim form. If you are needing to fill out a claim form, and then also going to be going into the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently sitting at $16,703. So some notes here when it comes to the situation with Celsius. So supposedly there is 50% of our funds still in cold storage when it comes to Celsius. And one thing that we have to kind of be aware of is that the Series B holders, who have obviously a ton of money and top lawyers, they're fighting to get more money for themselves, which could mean in the end less for creditors, which is us. So that is just a potential scenario that could play out that you definitely should be aware of. So there's also the possibility of a reorganization, and so that would basically just be like reorganizing Celsius, selling off like potentially the mining company, and just creating basically like a new structure. So that will have to be approved by regulators though. There's also a potential that we are given the option to leave our claim and basically take a haircut, whether that's 50% or more, or stay, and if you're basically hopeful that you will receive 100% of your funds back. To be honest with you, like it would definitely depend on the timing when it comes to that 50% cut or whatever it could be, like leaving with the haircut. So, I mean, if that is a possibility, I'll obviously be telling you guys what I personally will be doing. Check out this. Okay, so this is what Celsius has spent over the last 4 months on lawyers. Okay, Kirkland and Ellis, $20.1 million. The unfortunate thing when it comes to bankruptcy, Chapter 11 bankruptcy, is the fact that it feels like the money is just being drained on a daily basis, and that is because it is. Between lawyer fees as well as Celsius still paying salaries, I'm pretty confident there's still people on that payroll that don't deserve to be on that payroll, because there's really not much that needs to be done since they've entered Chapter 11. So the bar date to fill out the claim form with Celsius has been extended to January 10th. And that is basically if on the document there is something is off with your balance and what is listed on that document, then you would need to fill out a claim form. The chances of you needing to fill out a claim form are pretty low. There is a possibility that they're going to change, I believe, the claim form so that you can add in basically like a claim of Alex lying or fraud or something like that. So also on January 10th, examiners, they'll take a deeper dive to discover if there was fraud, if there was cell token manipulation, if Celsius was just a Ponzi, if they were mismanaging funds in an irresponsible way. That's going to take place on January 10th. So that's the update with Celsius. Before we go into the price of Bitcoin, I want to quickly go over, I still have 30-minute calls available for $30. That price is going to change at the end of the week. So if you go and book a call between now and Friday, those are the available dates on the calendar. It's just $30. It will go up after that, so take that into consideration. If you want to ask me anything, moving to Puerto Rico, anything about Bitcoin, that is always an option as well. And so I also have another YouTube channel, and so you can also, I have the offer going there as well. So you can ask me anything related to like my experiences with fasting. I fasted for 54 days, zero food for 54 days, intuitive eating, things like that. So over to the price of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had a little bit of a jump today. And like I mentioned in my previous video, I was really paying attention to this red 2 going below the red 1. And it did not happen. It closed above that. And we have a decent candle sort of when it comes to where we started this week. I'm paying very close attention to this 50 DMA to see if Bitcoin can get over it. I'm anticipating probably not, but this is the thing. Anyone who is like claiming the bottom is in, anyone who's claiming the bottom is not in, like I believe that the bottom is not in, but I'm also aware that I could be completely wrong. Like I will never say there's 100% chance. So pay attention to who is like trying to tell you that the bottom is in, and people saying things like, oh, Kramer said that it's time to sell crypto, like the bottom is in. Like people use the stupidest indicators to say that like the bottom is in, and it's really just a waste of your time. I do not really, those people lose so much credibility. There's a difference between saying, I think there's a chance, and like stating something is going to be for sure. The truth of the matter is that none of us know. None of us know, none of us YouTubers, none of us Twitter personalities, none of us know if the bottom is in. I don't believe it's in, but I also know that I could be completely wrong. So, paying close attention here to the relationship between this weekly candle and the 50 DMA. Let's take a look here at the daily chart. So, the daily chart, I like to see this green 2 trading above the green 1. Okay, that's a sign of a potential momentum shift. We also printed a higher low. Okay, also gonna be keeping a close eye on this moving average, the green crossing over the red. Also paying attention to this 50 DMA, as it is probably going to be some resistance. And obviously we want to see Bitcoin make a higher high above the high of this candle right here, which is $17,000. We're only $300 away from that. So there is some potential signs on that daily chart. If you watched my previous video, I told you that Ethereum was looking good, looking stronger and better, like it was having a momentum shift. And I said, this is a sign that Ethereum is leading the way. It's likely that Bitcoin will follow. And I also said that I was considering taking on a position. I got too distracted to be babysitting a position, and so I never did. I never looked into it, honestly, past that video I made. I saw that, and I just didn't really make any moves. So, but it is what played out. Ethereum did give us some signs of a momentum shift in the space, and that's exactly what happened. This is a 12-hour chart here, looking decent, okay? Things are obviously looking a bit better here. This is a 4-hour chart, which actually has had a momentum shift, a clear higher high, probably a 1 to 4 candle correction, and then we'll want to see if Bitcoin can get above the 50 DMA, which is at about $16,785. So, let's see here. This right here is the hourly on Bitcoin, which is also looking quite good as well, making a higher high. Higher low. Let's see if Bitcoin can get above the high of this candle right here, which is 16,762. But like I said, that 50 DMA is likely going to show us some resistance. So it is best to be cautious, to tread lightly if you're entering any positions here. This is the 5-minute chart, which is not looking all that good. We have Ethereum sitting at 12.16. We have Core Scientific, 7 cents. To be honest with you, is the stock market even open today? I'm not even sure. I don't know if it stays even considered a holiday. These are, so I guess today is a holiday, right? Oh my gosh, let me double check. Let me tell you what, when you're in Puerto Rico, it's like holidays don't exist. It is the strangest thing. It's like sports and holidays, for some reason, feel like they do not exist in Puerto Rico. Let's see, trading day. Is it a trading day? Jan 2. Oh, okay. So banks will be closed today, and it looks like the stock market, yeah, is closed today as well, because these candles were from the 30th. Okay, so stocks are not open today. Let's see here. So this is where Coinbase closed at on the previous trading day, 35.39. Litecoin sitting at 74.45. We have DOT sitting at 4.49. Link sitting at 5.68. So a lot of green here in the cryptocurrency space, as it's kind of been allowed to do its just own thing and not correlate with traditional stocks today. XRP sitting at 35 cents. So let's go ahead and take a look, a bit of a deeper dive on the price of Ethereum. It's pretty crazy how boring Bitcoin has been. This doesn't really happen all that often. The last time I kind of remember it feeling like this actually reminds me a lot of when Bitcoin was in the $6,000 range. It stayed there for what felt like eternity. Actually, let's go back. Once I'm done looking at Ethereum, we're going to go back and look at Bitcoin when it was trading in the $6,000 range, which felt like eternity, and it was extremely boring. And then one day it was down 50%. The only day of my life I thought that Bitcoin might be over. And that was just the best buying opportunity. The best buying opportunity. Let's go ahead and see here. This is Ethereum. So the Ethereum weekly chart looks almost identical to the Bitcoin one. Let's take a look here on the daily chart. Very similar. Ethereum is looking extremely similar to Bitcoin on the daily chart. 12-hour chart. We need to make a clear higher high above the high of this candle right here, which is 1233. But we're also seeing Ethereum having some resistance at that 50 DMA. 4-hour chart looks bullish with a momentum shift. Same thing on the hourly chart. Let's take a look here at the 5-minute. It's also trending downwards similarly to Bitcoin. So what did I say I was going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to go back to look at Bitcoin when it was in the $6,000 range. Let's take a look here at the weekly chart. All right. It's like kind of nice when Bitcoin just chills out a bit. I mean, for someone that's looking to enter, it's kind of nice when it's just in this range. It's like, I could sleep well at night. I don't have to check the price like a ton of times. I mean, eventually it will not last, but okay, let's see here. So obviously there was that buying opportunity there, but this is the range that I'm talking about here. When there was a lot of time, this is between June of 18 and November. So that was like quite a few months. Bitcoin was between 6,000 and 8,000. It kind of just toggled in that range there. And this is what I'm talking about. So spent a lot of time in that range. I felt like every time I looked at the price of Bitcoin, it was $6,000. And then it just had that massive drop from the $6,000 range down to $3,000. And then that crossover right there is where the massive buying opportunity came. So when we look at, because I always like to look at previous charts, like sometimes, we're going to see things repeat themselves, but not always. But I think it's important to be aware of what's happened previously to make predictions moving forward, obviously. So how many weeks was it for that crossover to happen? It was approximately 64 weeks from the all-time high of $20,000 before Bitcoin saw that crossover. That crossover was not the best buying opportunity. That crossover was a really important entry point because of the fact that you're immediately in the profit. You're immediately profitable. So if we go to 64 bars, that puts us that 64 weeks, and that would put us in a couple weeks, actually. The week of January 9th. Very interesting, actually. Very, very interesting. So, that's all that I have for you today on today's video when it comes to the price of Bitcoin. Like I said, last chance for 30-minute calls for $30 before the price goes up. I hope you guys have an amazing day. If you want to get yourself a ledger to protect your Bitcoin, there's a link down below for that as well. That's all that I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.